Welcome back to another Alliance War video. We have 4 Loki versus HC Avalanche, and today they banned Scorp, Spidey 99, and Ghost, and Herc and Torture globally banned. So let's get into it. I'm on path 6 to start. I was supposed to go somewhere else, but we needed this Chavez down after this, and I just kind of volunteered to do it. Although I hate fighting Chavez, but we'll get to that in a bit. Right now, I am using Omega Sentinel, and I'm not using Mutant Boosts. I'm using Tech Boosts, really, just because I never use them and I have them. So I'm going to throw them on, just for the extra pop. Nothing too scary here. All I'm going to do is kind of 4-hit combo and hold my block and then bait a heavy from her. And I need to be quick with the heavy counter, because if she has a special one, she will throw it as soon as that heavy's over. And the special one is exactly what I don't want her to throw. So this node has prowess buildup and some other node that gives me a guaranteed crit if I end my combo is the same as last time, but I'm not doing that. So I'm just using the attacker tactic to basically remove the prowess. I'm going to throw my SB2 to ensure that just to hit her basically, but see if I can land some incinerates, and then I'll keep them paused if she's over 2 bars like I'm doing here. And this is just going to trickle her down. They're not doing too much work, about 800 per tick, so about 1.6 thousand per second. So here I'm at another SP2. This is where the power back probably helped me out, build up to it, you know, quite quickly. So with this, now she has 4 incinerates, and they're paused, and she's going to go down quite easily. So pretty smooth fight with Omega Sentinel. I actually was debating on whether bringing her or not for a mini fight, but we'll get to that in a little bit. So next up is this America Chavez, and I don't have White Magneto on the team this time, so I'm using Professor X unramped. And what I found, that if I use power back boost with her and I get to my SB3 and she has negative zones up, she will actually take away power from me. So I've done testing with Professor X and Gauntlet and stuff, and when I had full suicides on, he actually does about 700k. It's crazy with 1 mind control rotation when he's fully ramped up. So I'm not actually worried about 170,000 health right here with no ramp, especially when the node gives me a fury. All I really want to do is parry heavy and block these SB1s if she gets friendly with them, because I don't want to feed her any more power than I need to with Mystic Dispersion and dexing them. And I know that she has that prowess buildup, but I'm still going to take it on the chin and just you know, eat the health loss. And at this point, I have 100 charges, so I'm going to remove some of the prowess with a combo hit, and I want to get the protection down, and then I can heavy charge into my special 3. And this is not going to kill her, but you see it is going to do quite a substantial amount of damage. And after this, I am going to throw my special 2. I do have I believe I do have recoil on for this fight. I'm not entirely sure, I don't remember, but either way, it does enough to kill her. So, and I still had 2 more SB1s that would have hit even harder consecutively. So next up is the fight I was most worried about in this war, is the Zemo boss. The Zemo on 25. I've taken this with Omega Sentinel, and something slipped through the crack. The nullified immunity would build his fury buffs, and I did not want that to happen. So in the middle of that fight, actually, I remember thinking that this is a dumb matchup, I'm going to send somebody else, and I thought Chavez. So when this was laid out, I told Andrew that, hey, Chavez works here, and he's like, great, you're taking it. And I was like, oh, yay, just what I wanted to do. And it turned out that BG2 also had a Zemo placed here as well, and PWF was going to use White Magneto for it, but they switched to Chavez. And he asked me what I would do, and I basically was just going to keep my negative zones up, and then just bait SB1s, and then throw my special 3 if available to get all my dimensions up. And that's exactly what I'm going to do here. I land that first parry, and I want to get close to him so I can possibly land a second parry or bait a heavy like that. Then I'm going to get my second negative zone up. At this point, I'm going to reverse any power gain from Power Snack and the global. So the more times she crits and I land those heavies, now I have 3 negative zones up, it's going to reduce his damage quite a bit. And she has a 3-hit heavy, so if they're running Stand Your Ground, I mean, you have to have really bad RNG for all 3 hits to basically be resisted. So there, the fight starts off pretty well. I get my negative zones up, And I decide, since I don't have a sting on, to throw the SB2 to do some damage. That was probably a mistake in hindsight because I don't have any negative zones and I see that. So at this point I'm like, okay, I need to get to another negative zone, and I decided heavy chain, but he blocks the first one. But because he blocked the first one, only 2 hits connected, and I didn't trigger the negative zone that I wanted. So here I go for the second negative zone. He throws an SB1. He gets real friendly when he's in the corner, and I'm like, all right, this is working out well. He's almost dead, and at this point, you see how the power gain got reversed from power snack, and I'm like, all right, this is exactly what I wanted. I'm at 3 bars of power. He's at 11% under a bar. I know I'm going to eat sting damage after this if it doesn't kill him, but I'm pretty sure it will kill him. So overall, the fight I was most worried about went rather smoothly, I should say. So pretty pretty good AI play right there, and much better assignment than Omega Sentinel. So here we have Omega Sentinel going up against Kitty Pryde, and the plan here basically is I didn't turn on the recoil tree for this. I just figured that she has enough damage. She's going to remove the prowess, and it's perfectly safe. I did think, you know, if I have her under a bar of power, I'm going to try to get an intercept, and I'll go for it. But ultimately, you know, it's more than enough damage. I'm just going to go for my SB3, and when it's available, and if she throws her special 1, great, I'll block it. The special 2, if she gets there, I'll bait it. And that's where I went for the intercept, and I get a Fury up. Now, at this point, I'm just dealing damage, and I'm going to get to my special 3, and I'm not going to throw it. I actually want the protection to come back up and then throw my special 3, because I don't want to lose the incinerates after the protection comes back. So while they do a massive amount with the protection down, you'll see when I come out of this, they're ticking for, looks like 1.2 K a tick, which is just over 2K a second. So I get an intercept, which actually speeds things up, and it, you know, now it's just ticking for more, but ultimately that would have sped along the fight if I don't get that intercept. So that went well. And then I was supposed to take 2 mini bosses, but and then, you know, I was trying to boost through the last mini boss that I was going to take, but I decided to open up the middle because Steve, our alliance leader, could also take those mini bosses, and we were trying to decide who was the safer option for those. But for now, I'm taking this Killmonger on Mighty Charge, Ebb and Flow Intercept. I don't have a White Magneto pre-fight. I usually do when I take Killmongers here. I don't need it. I don't need it on any of these fights. It's not. Professor X isn't handicapped to it at all. But for this fight, basically, if I land that first parry, I'm gonna heavy, and then I'm going to push him to an SB2, and then hopefully he throws it quickly, and then I'm gonna use my my falter or heavy counter his heavy to basically ramp up. And at this point, I'm deciding to heavy counter, and I'm like, all right, you know, the fight's going rather well at this point, and I just need him to throw this, and he's at 2 bars, and I'm almost at 100 charges and almost at 3 bars. He's not throwing this at this SB2, and it kind of worried me. But at this point, he throws it, and I'm happy, and I go for the heavy intercept, and I'm like, cool, this fight's over. And then I literally see no damage, and I literally like say no, like I got screwed this up. But I know I'm fully ramped in terms of mind control charges, so I'm just gonna come out of this, and he's gonna be special locked, and I'm gonna hit him a couple times, and then I'm going to throw my SB2, take some reverb, but not that much, and then he's ultimately dead. I throw this SB3, and the fight is over. So essentially, what I should have done is not got so greedy with the opening after he threw the SB2, and remove the indestructible charges that he gets after his SB2, and then throw my special 3. But he went down either way. I caught what was happening as soon as it happened. So next up is the Sassy on node 39. It's Ebb and Flow Intercept and Mighty Charge with Crumbling Armor. So I'm only using 150% boost for this fight because, and a Power Start 1 boost, because he only has 261,000 health. I am running max recoil, so the plan is just to get to an SB3. I'm gonna parry heavy and try not to dex, just to build up to 100 charges and limit his power. Once he gets close to once he gets close to 2 bars, I want to push him to 2 bars, and then I can start baiting it and dexing if I need to, because by that point I should be at 100 charges, and I want him to basically throw the SB2 so he can dump his power, and then I can get the intercept much easier. So I'm at 100 charges. This is exactly what I want to be at. He throws this, I'm gonna basically do a combo and then do an intercept, and I want to parry, heavy charge, and that's it. That's all she wrote for the Sassy. I have 4 persistent charges, I'm running max recoil, and the 150% boost is more than enough to shoot me back up to an SB3. Even if it wasn't, the SB2 would absolutely kill at this point. So that is it for my war. There was a Bishop on 53 that I could have taken with Omega Sentinel, but we had a Maxic Ultron that was just, even though at rank 3, just better for that fight. And then a Korg on 55, but a Disorient immune, and Wags pre-fight on that Korg with a rank 5 APOC, which is ultimately better than my Professor X, so I didn't take those. Shout out to Steve for covering that for me. And Andrew had a Quicksilver boss that I put a tracking debuff so he could, he could track that blur. And he actually tells me that it's the reason that he got the solo. It's an awesome fight, kind of funny. If you guys want to check it out, check the link in the description. I'll put it in there. And, he threw me a shout out for basically giving him that win with that tracking debuff. And then Steve just a little mad that his horseman basically did nothing for the fight, didn't do much as the tracking. But let's take a look at the stats now. And as you can see, we did end up winning this war 12-2. Shout out to Andrew to coming up with a good kitty plan for that Quicksilver and to ease the burden off of Trevor inflating our fight time. So he only did that really just to, give Trevor a break. But shout out to Karate Mike, Clown, and Andrew for the MVPs, and we will see you guys in the next one.